Okay, let's go ahead and solve and graph this compound inequality. And if you are not familiar with inequalities, then you definitely want to stick around. And matter of fact, this video might be a little bit too, I don't want to say advanced, but you want to make sure you understand, basic inequality concepts like, x is less than 7, what that means, okay? And of course, things like 2x is less than 14. This is an example of an inequality that you can solve, but it's obviously simpler than this one that we're going to be doing here in a second. So, but if you got these down, you're like, no, I'm good with all that. I want to go ahead and get into a problem like this. Then we are going to solve and graph this guy here just in 1 second. But first, let me go ahead and quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher, and over many years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online math help programs there is. Now, of course, I'll let you be the judge of that. You can check it out by following the link in the description of this video. But if you need to take a full online math class, I offer several. Or if you need assistance in the course that you're taking, I can help you out as well. Okay, I have full comprehensive lessons, and I teach you how to solve the most common problems in middle and high school math, literally thousands of problems. Now, if you are a math student, I must stress the golden rule of math. And over decades of teaching math, this is my golden rule, and that is those students who have the best math notes almost always have the best math grades, and the reverse is true. Those students who have sloppy math notes, no math notes, it's more important to talk to your friend and look at your cell phone than take math notes. Or maybe their dog ate their homework and their math notes, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have math notes." Well, it's just a pattern. And if someone's struggling, let's say in one of my classes, I'm like, "Hey, let me take a look at your math notes," and they give me this kind of look. They're like, "Math notes? I don't know. What are those?" I'm like, "Yeah. Well, listen, math notes require work. Okay, and it takes a lot of effort to construct good math notes, but it's evidence that you're paying attention and you need something to study from, okay, to write down what the teacher's talking about. So, you know, is it easy to take good math notes? No, it's a skill and you got to definitely work at it, but the benefit is tremendous, okay? So just believe me on this one. You want to take great math notes, especially if you're struggling in math. Now, in the meantime, you need something to study from, so I actually offer excellent detailed math notes. Those would include pre-algebra, Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and Trigonometry. You can find the links to those notes in the description of this video. All right, so let's get into solving this inequality. And again, a couple things here. So you want to know, first off, that let's take this little inequality right here, right? So this means what? This is x is less than 7, right? Some number is less than 7. So what is a solution to this inequality? All right. So what's a solution to this inequality? Some of you might be like, oh, how about 6? Yes, 6 would be a solution to this inequality because 6 is in fact less than 7. Yay, that works. We're good to go. Now, is 6 the only solution? You would say, no, 5 would work too. You would be correct. 5 is in fact less than 7. So that's good. Any more solutions? Well, you would be like, yeah, any number that's less than 7. 4, 3, 2, 1, yeah, 5.1, 4.0009. You kind of get my drift. So how many solutions does this inequality have? Well, how many numbers can we come up with that are less than 7? An infinite amount of numbers. So because that's the case, because we have an infinite amount of numbers, we're really not going to list all those numbers down. So oftentimes we like to express the solution to inequality, solutions to inequalities by a graph. So here's our little number line graph. So here is 0 and here is 7. So all the numbers that are less than 7 would be the solutions to this inequality. So we would put a round circle here, and then we would put a little arrow like that. Now, how you graph, all right, the solutions to inequalities, that's a separate video. I really don't want to make this video too long, but you need to know these basic concepts. All right, now, of course, I'm going to be doing this compound inequality problem here in a second, but these are fundamental things that you should already know to tackle this kind of problem. All right, so this is why we want to represent our answers with the graph. But as you kind of graduate to more sophisticated problems, let's say 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 19, we need to be able to solve something like this before we tackle the problem that we're going to do here in a second. So oftentimes, the big thing with solving inequalities is it's very similar, almost exactly similar or the same as solving equations. So you got to know how to solve equations, and one of the things that you got to be very, very careful with is something like this. Let's say I had negative 2x is less than 14. So if I was thinking of this as an equation, all right, I would divide both sides of the equation by negative 2 to solve for x, right? So hopefully most of you out there are like, yeah, that's correct. But one of the things you have to be very, very careful with when you're solving inequalities is if you divide both sides of an inequality or multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, this sign here reverses. So I go from less than to greater than, okay? So that's another area you got to be very careful with. So we got these little, procedures that we have to follow, okay? You got to know how to solve equations, and you got to know why we represent our solutions graphically, okay? So these are things hopefully you're familiar with, and if you're not 100% all that, no worries. You can check out plenty of videos that I've done on my inequalities on my algebra, pre-algebra playlist, or better yet, jump into one of my courses like Algebra 1. I go over this thoroughly. Okay, so let's get to this problem. And the first thing we need to do here is we got to use the distributive property. So this right here in the center, okay, we have to use the distributive property to get to x. So we're going to go ahead, and now by the way too, I'm just teaching you how to solve this particular problem, but I can really speak on this more broadly, but let's just kind of get you to solve this, and you can follow up with other videos as well, and of course I post stuff all the time, but let's get you to solve this one here. All right, so this is going to be 5 times x times 5 times 1. So this is going to be 3 is less than 5x plus 5 is less than 10. So anytime you have the distributive property situation in parentheses around a sum or difference, you have to use a distributive property because we can't do anything with those terms until we have done that. So that's like the first thing we need to do. Now, our objective is to get x in the middle, okay? Or we want to just get x by itself, kind of like solving for x. But I have to do things kind of simultaneously here. So what do you think is going to be the first step I need to do? Well, if you were solving an equation, remember, you would have to deal with addition or subtraction of terms before you divide or multiply by anything. So I'm going to have to go ahead and subtract 5, okay, from the center here, but I have to now subtract 5 from everything, okay? Just like an equation, you got to be fair across the board. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2 is less than 5x is less than 5, okay? So hopefully you kind of see what's going on here. What's my objective? My objective is to kind of solve for x in the middle, okay? But now, instead of just having one side of an equation, I got to do things simultaneously on both the left and right-hand side of this inequality. All right, so how can I get to x? Well, I have 5x, so I just simply divide everything by 5, okay? So I would get negative 2/5, all right, is less than x is less than 1. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this is my solution, all right? Now, we can go ahead and look at this graphically. So we want to draw a little number line. So here's 0. So the best thing to do is we know negative 2/5 is over here. Let's put a circle around it. And 1 is over here. We'll put a circle around that. So what is this saying? This is saying all x's that are greater than negative 2/5, okay? The solution to this inequality is all x's that are greater than a negative 2/5, but at the same time less than 1. So it's this number, these numbers here, okay? Right in here, not including negative 2/5 or 1. That's why we have open circles. If we had like less than or equal to, we would fill that number, we would fill that circle in. Okay, things that hopefully you know because we talked about the importance of knowing those more basic inequalities. Okay, so this is the solution, okay, the number, the graph to this solution, all right? Now, this is a compound inequality, right? We're saying two things. All x's, all numbers that are greater than -2/5 and I'm using this word and less than 1. Okay, it's all these numbers, okay, not including -2/5 and 1. But I use this word and specifically because we're talking about compound inequalities, and I want you to think of the word hand. Okay, you're like, well, where's this guy going here with this? Okay, and hand, and I want you to think of handlebars like on a bike. Okay, here's a little bicycle. Here's my tire. Here's my pedals. Okay, here's a handlebar. Now, you can see here, when I state this inequality, it's an and inequality. Your graph is always going to look like a handlebar, all right? Now, this is in comparison to an or situation. Now, let's do that, okay? Let's use different numbers, -3 and 2. Now, what if I had this graph? What is this saying, okay? This is saying all x's that are less than, all numbers that are less than -3, well, I could write that a little bit better, or all x's that are greater than 2, okay? Can't be both, right? So all x's that are less than -3 is a solution to this particular inequality, or all x's that are greater than 2. So this is an or statement, this is an and statement, and look at the graphs, they look differently. This looks like a handlebar on a graph, or on a bike, excuse me, and this looks like oars, okay, on a little rowboat. Okay, here's a little boat, here's a person in the water, and they got the little oars out. You know what oars are, right? On a rowboat, they're kind of pushing these through the water. They look this way, okay? All right, so that's an or statement. So when you're reading these things, try to interpret the inequality verbally. Is it an or? Is it an and? And then you should have the respective type of shape, you know, associated with the and or graph. So compound inequalities, again, you know, a part of the whole family of concepts that we learn about inequalities, okay, from basic stuff to, you know, why we need number line graphs to how to solve equations and inequalities, all the different things that we got to be careful with dividing or multiplying by negative numbers, how it reverses the sign, all that good stuff, okay? So we can avoid this guy. Nobody likes a little sad face. Everybody likes happy faces in math and A pluses and 100%. That's the best job of being a math teacher, is when you go and say, hey, you had a perfect test grade. Matter of fact, you got 105% because you got the bonus question right as well. You're amazing, okay? Take the whole year off. You're done. Just go on YouTube and learn math because everything is on YouTube. You can learn about anything and everything at any time. It's just awesome. So listen, if this video helped you out and cleared up any confusion about compound inequalities, then that's excellent. Okay, please consider smashing that like button. That would help me out. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. Been on YouTube for a long time. It's a great platform. Have hundreds and hundreds of videos organized in various playlists from basic to advanced. And I'm posting new stuff all the time as I'm obsessed teaching math. Now, if you really want my best work, my best assistance, check out those links in the description of this video. But with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.